A bonus tip to answer any kind of question is, hey guys, welcome to my channel and my name is Gurjot. I hope you are doing well. So today's video is going to be about ECE interview questions. ECE interview questions in Canada are not just about theory but real situations. So if you are not prepared well for behavioral or situational questions, you might miss on a good job. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you 5 behavioral ECE interview questions and how exactly you can answer them. So without any further delay, let's master your ECE interview. Let's get started. During interview questions, daycare centers expect real examples and not textbook answers. The best way to answer such questions is by using the STAR method. Now, what is STAR method? Let's break it down. S is for situation, T is for task, A is for action, and R is for result. S for situation. In this step, explain the situation. Describe what was happening so the interviewer gets your context. Next is T for task. In this step, explain what your responsibility was, what was expected from you at that moment. Then we have A. A is for action, and this is the most important part of your answer. In this step, explain what actions you took, what you personally did, and not what your team did. Explain in detail the steps you took, how you communicated those steps, what procedures and policies you followed. Last is R for result. In this step, end your answer by explaining the outcome. Explain what was the benefit of those steps, what and how the classroom benefited, and personally what your experience was, what you learned from this situation. Now that we know how to frame our answers, let's get into the questions. So the first question is, tell me about a time when you handled a challenging child. So this is the most guaranteed question in an ECE interview. Through this question, the interviewer wants to check your patience, child-centered approach, and classroom management. So to answer this question, you can start by saying that once I worked with a child who had frequent emotional meltdowns during transitions and so and so. And if you are not an experienced educator, if you have just started, you do not have any experience, you can just change the tense of the question, of the answer. You can say that in future, if I experience such situation, for example, a child is having frequent emotional outbursts during transition, then I will do so and so. In your answer, make sure to include a calm response, redirection, and obviously collaboration with team and parents. So let's look at a sample answer for this question. In my previous role, I worked with a child who had difficulty during transitions and would often become upset or refuse to participate. I observed the child closely and noticed that transitions without warning were triggering the behavior. I started giving advanced reminders, used visual cues, and offered simple choices to help the child feel he is in more control. I also communicated with my team and shared strategies to keep consistency. As a result, the child became calmer during transition and was able to participate more positively in daily routines. Second question is, describe a time when you had a conflict with your coworker. Through this question, the interviewer wants to see if you are a team player or not. He wants to check your communication, professionalism, and respect in workspace. So to answer this question, if you never had such an experience, please don't say straight away, oh, I never had such an experience. That doesn't really leave a good impression. To answer this question, you can say, I did have difference of opinion with my coworker about the daily routines and we solved it like so and so, whatever your answer is. In your answer, include active listening, private conversation, and child-focused solution. Sample answer for this question would be as follows. I once had a situation where a co-worker and I had different opinions on classroom routines. Instead of addressing it in front of the children, I requested a private conversation. I listened to their perspective, shared my concerns respectfully, and we focused on what was best for the children. We agreed on a consistent approach and supported each other moving forward. This improved our communication and created a more positive classroom environment. Question number 3 is, how do you handle a safety or emergency situation? Safety is a big deal when working with children. Through this question, the interviewer wants to check your policy awareness, responsibility, and calmness under pressure. So, to answer this question, you can use the example of outside playtime. You can answer by saying, during outside playtime, a child fell down and hurt himself, and so, whatever you did, you can explain your action. Make sure in your answer you highlight immediate response, first aid, incident reporting, and definitely informing your manager and the parents as well. So, a sample answer for this question would be as follows. During outdoor playtime, a child tripped and scraped their knee. I immediately ensured the child was safe, provided basic first aid according to the center policy, and stayed calm to reassure them. I informed my manager right away and completed an incident report when we were back at the daycare. I also communicated the same to the parents through a text message so they can sign the incident report during pickup. Following safety procedures and documentation is always my priority to ensure children's well being. Next question is, tell me about a time when you communicated with a difficult parent. So, parent communication can be really challenging at times. It can either break you or make you as a person. Through this question, the interviewer wants to check your professional communication, documentation, and empathy. So, when you are answering such a question, you can start by saying, once a parent was concerned about their child's behavior and learning, and whatever steps you took, you can explain to them. Make sure during your answer you include active listening without judgment, making observations, offering strategies, and definitely working in collaboration, working as a team with the parents. Sample answer for this question would be as follows. Yeah. A parent once expressed concern about their child's behavior and felt their child was not getting enough attention. I listened carefully without interrupting and acknowledged their concerns. I shared my documented observations and explained the strategies we were using in the classroom. I also invited the parent to work together and suggested ways we could support the child both at home and at the center. This open communication helped build trust and resulted in positive progress of the child. Last and the most common question is, why should we hire you? Why should we hire you as an ECE? And this is where most applicants fail because their answer is, I love kids, I need PR, I need job, and this is a totally wrong answer. Instead, through your answer, you should show your values, your beliefs. You should show that you are a nurturing and safe person. You believe in teamwork and continuous learning. So, a sample answer for this type of a question would be as follows. I'm a responsible and caring educator who prioritizes children's safety, emotional well-being, and development. I work well in a team, communicate professionally with parents, and follow licensing and center policies carefully. I'm always willing to learn and improve my practice to provide a positive, inclusive, and nurturing environment for every child. A bonus tip to answer any kind of question is always connect your answer with Canadian values. Canadian values like safety and licensing, inclusion and diversity, child centered approach, and team collaboration. If you relate your answers, if you connect your answers with these Canadian values, definitely you will leave a positive impact on the interviewer. ECE interview is not about perfect English or fancy words, it's more about real experience and mindset. Make sure you practice some behavioral situational questions before your interview so you feel more confident. I hope this video was helpful. If you found the video helpful, do hit like, share and subscribe. You can also hit the bell icon so you get a notification whenever I upload a new video. So yeah, that was about it. I'll see you soon in my next video. Till then, bye bye.